Well, I'm sure we'd like to think so. We were bought, obviously, to make a difference. The manager in the past, 2 to 3 years has bought attacking players. I think the rest of the core of the team, is there. So hopefully we maybe add that little bit to the team that maybe they didn't have, the last season or the season before.
Dundee United manager Ivan Golat feels the need to make only one change from the team which drew at Celtic Park on Saturday. Alec Cleland drops down to the bench, and there's a slight reshuffle to make way for skipper Dave Bowman, who's in mid-suspension. Again, it's the pacey partnership of McLaren and Daly up front. The big individual success this season for United has been Billy McKinlay, playing in an attacking midfield role behind the main strikers. He's scored 5 goals to force himself to the fringe of the Scotland squad. Only one change for Premier leaders Hibs as well. Darren Jackson has won his race to be fit, and his return means Gareth Evans is a substitute. There's a lot resting on the performance in the midfield engine room of two 23-year-olds, David Farrell and Billy Findlay. There are a few more effective players in Scottish football at the moment than Kevin McAllister. The former Falkirk winger has 5 goals in his last 5 games, and he's another on the brink of international honours. The referee is Les Mottram, and after 12 years as a match official, he's in charge of his first League Cup semi-final. So we're underway with the first of this week's 2 big games, which lead to the final on October the 24th. Early touch for Stephen Tweed. Keith Wright can't get there. And it's an early touch for Alan Main, who's been in such commanding form for Dundee United. There's an early touch for Bowman. United and Hibs have never met before in a League Cup semi-final. They have crossed swords 7 times in this competition, and Hibs have won 5 of them. Good pressuring from Keith Wright. Michael O'Neill tripped as he went past Mark Perry, and Les Mottram reaches into the back pocket. And it's a yellow card for Perry, beaten by Michael O'Neill's pace and forced to trip him as the Hibs midfielder flew past. Well, Dundee United put themselves in trouble there, and Perry forced to commit that foul. The head flick from Johnson, and Alan Main almost in trouble under the crossbar. He won't be too happy with his midfielder getting a head connection with that one, because it caused all sorts of problems, and Hibs have a corner. Kevin McAllister with the corner. All the way back. Findlay looking for the shooting chance, gets past Johnson. Findlay strikes it well, but it's a few yards off target. Findlay has won his way back into this Hibs team, showing no little confidence there as he drifted inside the attempted tackle. Daly against Tweed. Daly gets the touch. Billy McKinlay feeding off him. Van der Hoorn is wide. McKinlay tries the shot. Well hit, but Jim Leighton was always happy that that one was swerving wide of goal. Well, it opened up in front of McKinlay. He let fly, but Jim Leighton was well in control of the situation. Van der Hoorn wins it. Falls for Michael O'Neill. Darren Jackson trying to get past Perry. Played away by Neary. McKinlay, now Van der Hoorn. Good exchange with Daly. Van der Hoorn still in possession. Now McKinlay. Too much on it for Grant Johnson at the far post, and Willie Miller has some time to clear. Flick on by Keith Wright. Well played, McAllister evading the bowling challenge. He's moving at pace. Darren Jackson, and Jackson has scored. This time McAllister, the provider, and Darren Jackson on his comeback to the Hibs first team has put them ahead in this League Cup semi-final. it's Hibs who strike the first blow. Untidy play from United. McAllister cashed in. The pass released Jackson, and he scored. Oh, Darren Jackson took up perfect positioning there, and that was a clinical finish. Van der Hoorn, not a good one. Another chase. Dave Bowman's back helping his defence. Van der Hoorn. Mark Petty. McAllister was heading back. Christian Daly slips the tweed tackle. McLaren's in the middle. And Jim Leighton out to make the save. Dangerous moment for the Hibs defence as Christian Daly got away on the right. It was a dangerous looking ball in, and Danny McLaren was there waiting for any slip-ups. Mitchell's in support. McAllister, Wright and Jackson are all there. There's winger McAllister with a turn and a shot. Main doesn't hold it. Gets it at the second attempt, but that was a pass back from Brian Welsh. And that will be a free kick to Hibs. Just a few yards from the goal line. Well, Brian Welsh had to think quickly there. He took the wrong decision, but Kevin McAllister's chest control and turn put the United defence in all sorts of trouble, and that deemed to be a back pass. So Welsh penalised, and Hibs have a free kick in a highly dangerous position for United. They're already one up, and every tangerine shirt is behind the ball. McAllister's over it. Keith Wright is there, Jackson's in the area. Oh, what a moment for the United defence. Can they keep this one out? Les Mottram keeping them on the line. Michael O'Neill behind the ball. O'Neill strikes it, cannons off. Who knows who? And now that's behind for a goal kick, and a United player has been injured. And presumably we'll find out now who is struck by that shot. It's Freddie van der Hoorn who's taken a fearful blow as the ball was tucked back to Michael O'Neill, and that was van der Hoorn who took that in a very painful place. That's a chancy ball from Dave Bowman. Van der Hoorn loses out to Mitchell. Wright's in the middle, cut out by Neary. Away from Petty. Well won by Johnson. Drifts past Farrell, that looked like obstruction. The Hibs man beaten for pace by Johnson, and he reverted to obstruction to stop his man. Taken quickly. Van der Hoorn's cross. Welsh is up, Welsh's header, and it's just wide. Well, Jim Leighton was scrambling, and that gives you an idea that that was close at the far post. Good cross this time from Van der Hoorn. Welsh was up higher than anyone, and that header wasn't too far away. Word in the ear from Paul Sturrock. McLaren's wanting this up ahead, gets it now. That takes the pace out of the attack. Daly, brilliant skill, cuts it back. McLaren looking for support at the edge of the area, it wasn't there. Van der Hoorn going down in the challenge with Jackson, and Mottram didn't like the Darren Jackson challenge one little bit. And Jackson, who has an unhappy habit of picking up yellow cards, adds to his tally. Van der Hoorn knows all about Jackson, they having been teammates at United. Yellow for Jackson. Well, it was a bouncing ball. Up went Jackson and into Van der Hoorn. There's the free kick. There's Welsh. Didn't quite get the contact. Glanced off his head. He was looking for a more solid contact. Well, United, they've had plenty of the ball in the last spell, but not quite able to do enough with it. Welsh is covering up. That's a loose one. United could be in trouble. Keith Wright. Cut out by Neary. Well, he was important there for United. That was an almost disastrous lapse in the United defence. Findlay. Flicked on by O'Neill. Nobody there this time. Keith Wright coming back from an offside position. If United are to equalise before half-time, they'll have to move sharply. Bowman. Grant Johnson. Now Christian Daly. Over elaborate. Perry. Deep ball to McLaren. Daly. Perry. Van der Hoorn. Good defending by Hibs. McLaren at the edge of the area. Perry's got some space to put in the crossbar. Welsh at the back post. Couldn't get the head contact. Johnson. Welsh. Welsh with the left foot shot. Struck it well, but always going wide. Applause from the 5,000 United fans behind that goal, but they knew as well as Brian Welsh did that although he struck that well, it was never going in. Certainly has his abilities in an attacking sense as well as defence. That's half-time. Dundee United will not be too happy with what was a fairly untidy performance in the main. The only goal coming from Darren Jackson. Kevin McAllister was the supplier, and Jackson came up with the clinical finish. Hibs well worth it. They lead at half-time by 1-0. So United restart, and they'll have been told in the dressing room at half-time to tighten things up, make the passes count, and put Jim Leighton under some pressure, because he really hasn't had too much of a serious nature to deal with in the first half. And Keith Wright's away already for Hibs. Jackson and McAllister in the middle. Oh, and Wright really wasting that. The cutback would have put Dundee United in a much more troublesome situation. Keith Wright looked to have overrun the ball, and eventually the cross glancing off the crossbar. Dave Bowman in trouble against Farrell. Well, there's a totally committed challenge from two players. It was Miller against Boland, and Gary Boland still on the ground. Out from Van der Hoorn, so Boland will get some treatment. This was the challenge, and the loose ball broke. In went Boland, in went Miller, and Boland left on the ground. And that's the end of the action, it appears, for Gary Boland. The under-21 international carried off, and he, an important player for United with his distribution and tackling on the left-hand side. And United will immediately make the change, and it's Alec Cleland, who was in the starting lineup against Celtic on Saturday, who enters this League Cup semi-final. Yes, Perry was climbing all over Keith Wright there, and the game halted by another free kick. Hibs looking to build on their one-goal lead as Mitchell fires it in, flicked on by McAllister. Keith Wright! Oh, and a fine save by Alan Main. Well, Hibs within a whisker of going 2 up. And Main had to show the sort of form which has won him a place in the Scotland squad. Great flick from McAllister. Keith Wright moved on to it. Fine save. McAllister's corner. Finlay has to come a long way to collect it. Finlay again. There's Jackson. Hunter's up. Darren Jackson. Two on the ground, play on. Van der Hoorn on the counter. Running too quickly for the ball. Welsh is in support. Johnson. McKinlay. Cleland's outside him. Turns infield. Return ball. Cut out by Tweed. Did well. His pressure still on though. Cleland. Away from Farrell. There's the sub-Cleland again. It's a great ball. McLaren. And a fine save by Jim Leighton. McLaren frustrated, but Jim Leighton in the right place at the right time. Andy McLaren can't believe it. It was an excellent opportunity. He seemed to have done the right thing. He directed the header downwards when the ball was played back in from Cleland. Jim Leighton blocking it with his feet. Well, Leighton was the match winner in the quarter-final in the penalty shootout, and that's a crucial save in the second half. David Bowman. United trying to turn on the heat, but they won't do anything this time. That's harmlessly behind for a goal kick. Good climb by Penny, but Christian Daly can't keep it in. Bowman hooks it forward. Tweed wins. It's neat play from Jackson. Brian Welsh cuts it out. Hibs again moving themselves down deep into Dundee United territory. Jackson. Good run by Willie Miller, and receives possession. Well tackled by McLaren. McAllister looking for a chance to get turned. Plays it back to Farrell. It's a high-hanging ball. Van der Hoorn under no pressure. McLaren does well to collect at the byline. Daly's head flick, nobody there. Tweed forward, and Keith Wright is onside. Yet again beating the United offside trap. In from Wright and behind from Bowman. Well, it's happened time and time again in this game that Keith Wright has peeled off and got himself in behind the Hibs defence and kept himself onside. Here's the latest example of it. And maybe yet again his choice of final ball in was not the right one. It could have caused problems there. Bowman cut it out. Here's Billy Findlay. Back with Kevin McAllister. Onto his right foot. Kicks a deflection. There's Bowman. Breaking at pace. McLaren's wide left, and there's Daly on the right. Brian Welsh sprinting through the middle. Foul by Van der Hoorn on O'Neill. That's the claim, at least, of the Hibs player. Didn't like that challenge. And Hibs will make their first change. Off comes Billy Findlay, and it's Brian Hamilton who comes on, so an experienced player to introduce to the game at this stage. In from McLaren, gets a deflection off the head of Tweed. Leighton has it. And now Brian Hamilton has it. McLaren, McAllister through the middle. Well, he was Pretty effectively harried by Cleland. And concedes the throw. Oh, there's effective play again from Daly, which takes him beyond Miller, but Miller's not giving up, and that's dogged play by the Hibs defender, and a fine ball downfield as well, which finds Darren Jackson, rights on the left. And there's Michael O'Neill, what a chance this is. O'Neill. Well, Dave Bowman did well backtracking. Michael O'Neill will feel that was a useful opportunity. He had certainly plenty of time to line up the shot, but Dave Bowman put him off. Wright wins the corner off Welsh. And Hibs looking for the goal, which might well at this stage seal their passage into the League Cup final. Kevin McAllister will get the placing of this just right. Stephen Tweed could well be the target. In it comes, there's Tweed. Just the merest of glances off the head of Stephen Tweed. And just a fraction wide. McAllister's corner. Tweed couldn't quite get that on target. That's a probing ball from Van der Hoorn, and Stephen Tweed has to give away the corner. Daly was hanging about looking for any lapses. Andy McLaren with United's corner. Welsh is there. Welsh's header just a foot or so too high. He certainly poses a huge problem at corner kicks. Tweed is a problem for the United defence, and Welsh is pretty difficult to control when he comes up for United. That was just too high. Into the last 15 minutes then. Hibs have the edge, but it's still a slender margin. A goal for United will change everything. Johnson, McKinlay, Bowman. Some of the United passing leaving a lot to be desired, and just when they're building up some momentum, the fluidity is broken. And that's neat play between McLaren and Van der Hoorn. Andy McLaren wins a corner. It's been through Andy McLaren that United have had some of their brighter moments. He and Christian Daly, just 39 years old between them. McLaren's corner. Jackson away. Bowman. Back to McLaren. He's onside. Fine Welsh. Beaten by Miller. Van der Hoorn. What a shot by Van der Hoorn. And what a save by Jim Leighton. It all looked fairly easy for the former Scotland keeper, but that was all down to expert positioning in his 6-yard line. Freddie Van der Hoorn really connected with this one. And Leighton in perfect position. And United will make another change, and it's Big John Clark. He's got 2 League Cup goals already to his credit this season. And his bulk is being brought into the fray in place of Grant Johnson. So you can expect to see John Clark popping up in that Hibs box at every possible opportunity to try to unsettle the Hibs defence. And there's a sub for Hibs as well, and it's Gareth Evans who's come on. Evans on for Darren Jackson. Keith Wright's head flick. The United defence happy to see it go. Alan Main can fire this one down into Hibs land. John Clark causing problems. Christian Daly. Well, it was a good curling shot, but it had too far to come if it was going to make that top corner, which was what he was aiming at. Clark making the opening, and this was a good curling attempt. Van Van der Hoorn's throw. Looking for Daly. Billy McKinlay struggling to hold on to it, does so. Good close control, but it's 1 against 3. Away from O'Neill. Back from Neary to Main. Well, this could be trouble for United. Michael O'Neill moving at pace into the box. O'Neill cuts it back. Well, what an opportunity for Hibs that was to put it beyond all doubt. Michael O'Neill pulling it back to the penalty spot, but nobody there for Hibs, and United escaped. Well, he got himself into such a good position, and you can't fault that. This could be United's last chance to quickly get the ball downfield. They'll be looking for John Clark, surely, and looking to try to find some way behind this Hibs defence. McLaren. They need it in the area. Up goes Tweed. Leighton was looking for it. In again, Andy McLaren. Daly! Oh, and Jim Leighton touches it over the bar. And that is surely the save which takes Hibs into the League Cup final. Jim Leighton using all his experience and all his shot-stopping ability to pull off that spectacular save. Waiting for that final whistle. Won't hear it quite yet. United agitated. And there's the final whistle. Hibs have done it. They won the League Cup 2 years ago. They're back in the final, courtesy of Darren Jackson's goal in the first half, the only goal of the game. And they have a big debt to that man, Jim Leighton. A couple of crucial saves, one from a thunderbolt from Freddie Van der Hoorn, the other a tip over the top from Christian Daly just at the end. And Jim Leighton, after 7 years without the Cup Winners' Medal in his cabinet. Well, everyone was getting a bit overexcited there. That was possibly a rehearsal for the real thing in a couple of moments' time, but everyone in the ground seemed to reckon that was it all over. Away from Tweed. Well, it may not have been over then. It is over now. Hibs celebrate. They're through to the League Cup final. The Premier leaders have made it, and there's Jim Leighton mobbed by his teammates. He's had to wait a long time after heartbreak spells at Manchester United and Dundee. But he's back in the big time, and Jim Leighton, as Dave Bowman has ushered down the tunnel. Darren Jackson having to break things up. Some ugly scenes on the touchline. John Clark is involved as well there. Alec Miller seemed to be having words with some of the Dundee United players as they headed down.